Dr. Charles Tolit at here, who is a researcher on strategic security studies. Many thanks for joining us, Doctor. Given your understanding of the country's strategic security over the years, what do you see lacking and how can it be fixed?
Well, Uganda sits at a very interesting place geographically. Uganda sits right at the center of East Africa and the Horn, quickly from Kampala to Kinshasa, Kampala, Kigali, Kampala, Nairobi, is approximately under 1.5 hours. Militarily speaking, in case of any incursions, forward or centrally holding position, you find that Uganda has a very, very vital role to play. And I think, as we have witnessed over the years, we've had our own struggles that the UPDF particularly has victoriously emerged as hero over. And we have also moved to the region and tried to pacify it. I think the questions that remain lingering are basically the transition from revolution to democracy. The question of, are we actually a democratic citizen? Are we seeking to settle as democratic citizens? I think that's where the challenges are, because if you look at both grey literature and research reports, Uganda is still very much referred to as a country being governed under semi-dictatorship. And I think this is not very, very, very nice for us in terms of global realm and standing.
All right, Doctor, so given the challenges that you just stated right there, and knowing the challenges within the UPDF, especially with small pay for soldiers, the men and women in uniform who are supposed to be in charge of our defense and security, do you think that even after 38 years of the NRM and the UPDF, that it is possible that these challenges can be addressed? If so, how?
I think the challenges for our defense forces, or especially the men in the uniform, and it's not only the UPDF, the same thing has applied to the police, the same thing goes to the prison service. Certainly it is a prestigious thing to be in uniform, and to be in uniform is certainly a sacrifice. So we need to critically think, especially the planners of the country, need to look at it in a manner that the force is designed and thought for like any other key, frontier or levers of the country, be it health, or for example, health, education, because without security, you cannot do anything. So with a small economic basket like the one we have, the only way we can get ourselves smart and moving is that we need to fix the governance. I think there is a lot of waste in this country. There is a lot of waste, and then after fixing the waste, we also need to try and integrate particularly technology and knowledge, because we are moving towards a knowledge economy. We can now not afford to have men and women in the forces that, for instance, are still struggling to read and write.
Well, that's quite interesting analysis right there. But now looking at, of course, the days of leaders like General Aronda Nyakairima and the soldiers after that, given the exemplary work and the mantra of life they lived by, is it possible that even in today's UPDF and security, you're able to have leaders emulate those disciplines?
Yeah, surely. And without a doubt, I should be one of those who should salute the late Commander Nyakairima, because as a researcher, I speak to many people, and I can assure you without a doubt that he is a name that stands high and roars, within the men in uniform. They hold him dear, they think about him dearly, but I think that is just as far as they can romanticize. The challenges the men in uniform are going through are real. The region we are living in is a fragile region. We take a central place in this region. The government at the moment, particularly with its forward-looking and embraced principles of Pan-Africanism. You see, we are in Somalia at the moment. We were in Southern Sudan at some time. We are engaged in the Congo. So I think what we need to project and what we need to think about and project more is how do we position ourselves in terms of soft power? Because the more we can get literate, the more we can say leverage on ICT, leverage on engineering, then we probably need to reduce the men,
right,
and then, largely rely on technology. And I think that is where we should be going. But of course, the issues of governance remain central to this whole matter.
Dr. Tolit Charles Satia, Researcher, Security Studies, many thanks for speaking to us this evening and sharing your insights